if we look into the basic definition of a computer, then it consists of three components: input, processing, and output, right? So we input something and then computer performs processing on it, typically mathematical processing, and then it gives us the desired output. We know that how to produce an output. Obviously, we can produce an output by using print statement, right? Um, and we down the line we will learn how we can perform different processings on different data types. But how to take input in a Python program? That is a question which we are going to solve right now. Okay, so let's move on over here. There is a function called input. And as you see, if I write input, it turns into green. And then two parentheses. Okay. Again, what is function? We are going to learn it in probably module 3. So until then, you can assume a function is a black box. Okay. It has some predefined definition in it. I will explain function very much deeply in upcoming modules. Don't worry about that. Okay. So we will say input just like we used to say print. Okay. So after saying input, I will write a string in it, and here I'll provide a prompt. For example, I'll say enter a number. Okay. So if I run it, here we go. This kind of a window will pop up. Okay. So whatever I'll write over here will act as a prompt over here. If I write, let's say XYZ over here, you will see XYZ printed over here. Okay, fine. So it says enter a number. So here I want to enter a number. Let's say I enter 12. Then I hit enter. It prints 12. Okay. If I run it again, let's change the statement now. Enter a string. Okay. Run it. There we go. Now it says enter a string, not a number anymore. So I'll say I am Zia. Okay. Running it. There we go. It works perfectly fine. Cool. Now, second thing is, if we are taking input from the computer, if a computer is taking input from the user or a program is taking input from the user, how can we use that input for further processes? Okay. So let me write a use case over here. For example, I'll say string 1 equals to my name is, okay, this is string 1. And then in string 2, str2, I will have an input, okay? And this input will say, enter your name, okay? So if I run it, it says enter your name, okay? So if I enter my name Zia over here, nothing happens, right? Why? Because the input that is entered over here, if you look closely, we have an assignment operator over here. And what is the job of assignment operator? It assigns the value which is at right-hand side to the variable which is at left-hand side. So whatever this input function returns, right now this input function is returning this name, Zia, this string actually, Zia. And this string is getting saved into str2, right? Just to make sure, we'll say what is str2. There we go. It says str2 is Zia. So if I do something like str1 plus str2, there we go. My name is Zia. Why? Because str1 was my name is with a space, and then str2 is not enter your name. str2 is the result of this whole operation, which is this string. And here we are simply concatenating whatever we have in both of these two strings, right? Okay. Now, here I'm going to give you, this is how we can take input from the user in a Python program. I'm going to give you a question over here, a problem over here that I want you guys to solve it. And believe me, it is not very easy to solve, right? There's a minor trick into it that you'll have to look closely. Okay. So num1 equals to input. I'll say enter number 1. Okay. So here I'm taking input in number 1, and then I'll say enter input in number 2. Okay. So I have two variables, num1, enter input. Whatever we will get over here, it will be an input to num1, right? Whatever we will get over here, it will be an input to num2. If I run it, I say 12, then hit enter. Now see, first of all, this statement was getting executed. I entered 12, I hit enter. Now this statement is executing. So for number 2, I'm entering 8. Okay. So I have two numbers now. Num1 is 12, num2 is 8. Okay. If I say num1 plus num2, hitting enter, it says 128. That does not make any sense. 12 plus 8 has to be 20, right? So what's wrong over here? And if I do something like num1 plus num2 plus, let's say, plus 15, it gives me an error. What could be wrong over here? Think about it. I'll give you the solution in next video. But before that, try to solve it at your end by your practice as well.